fighter, I want to be seated as close to my enemies as possible. I want to be able to see.
I agree. This was Eddie's choice. This was Eddie's choice.
Of course it was Eddie's choice. Of course Eddie wants the promoters to be in between the fighters. So I'm going to sit here. Ben, you should sit there. You do what you want.
I don't know who the fuck you're talking to.
Good idea, Chris.
I don't know who you think you're talking to, so you won't.
So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce our host for the press conference, Mr. Ade Oladipo.
Thank you, Michael. I don't think I'm needed. That was already going to start without me. But before we get going, thank you so much to everyone for attending, all the media. But most importantly, I always say this, the fans as well. Thank you for turning up. Manchester has become, I think, the home of British boxing. We've had so many good events at the AO Arena, the Co-op Live. And I think there are going to be more big events coming in the next few months. I will say this though, it is a little quiet in this arena. So on 3, I do need you guys to join in with me. On 3, I want you to say Manchester as loud as you can to kind of get the energy in this building going a little bit. So 1, 2. One second, let's try that again. We need a bit more Manchester. Here we go again. On 3. 1, 2. That's more like it. Welcome to the kickoff press conference for the Ring Magazine's inaugural event, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn, which will take place at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, April 26th in London. We all know the Benn and Eubank rivalry. We all know the names of the fathers. It goes back 4 decades. And 32 years ago, they fought here in Manchester for the final time at Old Trafford. Now, finally, it's time for the Sons to get it on. The unbeaten Conor Benn, with a record of 23-0, 14 knockouts, will move up in weight to take on the IBO World Middleweight World Champion, Chris Eubank Jr., with a record of 34-3 with 25 knockouts. The event is being brought to you by Ring Magazine, SNK Corporation, the publisher of the famous video fighting game Fatal Fury, City of Wolves, Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing, and Ben Shalom of Boxer. And the event will be broadcast on the Zone worldwide and Sky Sports box office in the UK and Ireland. For fight fans, look, I speak as a fight fan as well. Boxing is as good as it's ever been. Big shows nearly every single week, stacked fight cards, and more importantly, the most important thing, the best fighting the best. That's what we as fight fans want to see. I have just caught my breath from the last crescendo, which was an incredible event, and we moved to this press conference to build up to a fight that is now much, much bigger 2.5 years later. And it has an incredible undercard as well. We'll get to that a bit later, but I want to kick things off straight away. Eddie, I want to come to you straight away. Here we are, 2.5 years later, Eddie. There's been some ups and downs, ebbs and flows. There was a time when I thought we'd missed the boat on this fight. As we sit here now, knowing this fight is 100% going to happen, how are you feeling?
I can't believe it. I mean, I couldn't believe it the first time around. And, you know, we got to a stage, the fight was announced.
Eddie,
it was the...
You know I don't like you, right?
I don't know.
So, if you know that, what on God's sweet green earth makes you think I'm going to sit here and listen to any of the bollocks you have to say?
To be honest, I mean, you're going to have to.
No.
You are?
We're not. We're going to have some parliamentary procedure here today.
Okay. Well, one thing's for sure, you ain't no prime.
And we're going to skip past whatever bullshit it was you thought you was going to talk about. And we're going to continue on with the press conference. Ade, you may proceed.
So as I was saying, Ade.
No,
you get your turn.
This is not the Eddie Hearn show.
One thing for sure, this ain't the Chris Eubank show.
This is not the Eddie Hearn show.
No.
This is Eubank versus Benn. So you can either sabotage this.
You got your man to your right. He's going to say a few words.
You can either sabotage the event, and I'll just start talking to Ben personally, directly, or you can be quiet and we can move on with the press conference. I don't want to hear what you have to say.
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
We can be here all day.
I've been addressed.
We can be here all day.
I've been addressed.
I don't want to hear what you have to say. So,
well, to be honest with you, many people do.
Ade,
I think I'm more popular than you.
Ade, if you want to control the situation and move forward, you can.
I'm enjoying this. This is almost like a mini face-off.
So how would you run the press conference, Chris? Because you're such an unbelievable promoter.
I'm not running it, but I'm just not listening.
So what happens now?
We move on.
What, you talk?
I'd love to talk, but if not me, it's somebody else.
I'll tell you what I'll do. Conor Benn. How are we feeling about smashing this geezer to pieces over this one? If I tell you something now, I can't wait. I can't wait. I look at you, I look at Nigel. I look at Nigel wants to get in the ring and have a tear up.
You know what? Listen, Chris can say what he wants. The bottom line is, his dad don't even like him. You could not pay that man enough money to sit in this man's corner. Now that's an accomplishment, Chris. That's an accomplishment. Well done. The most unlikable geezer on the planet. Even your dad don't like you. Shit, man. Drop the mic.
Chris, okay, there was an order, but let's scrap the order. Let's go straight to you, Chris. You are the champion. We maybe should have started with you first. How are you feeling, Chris? 2.5 years after this was supposed to happen. There's been some ups and downs, but here we are. Like I said to Eddie, we're here. The fight will happen April 26th. What are your emotions right now?
The bad guy is back again. He still never cheats. He still never lies. He still never cuts any corners. And yet he is still the bad guy. Isn't it incredible? You know, the unique and peculiar situation we find ourselves in here today is that for the first time in boxing history, in a mega fight, there are two bad guys. Fun fact, I've been booed into every British fight I've had since 2014. Just let that sink in for a second.
No one cares, Chris.
That's 11 years. 11 years of being the bad guy. I'm a veteran at this stage. A supervillain, if you will. I remember the first time I got booed into an arena was against a fighter called Billy Joe Saunders. Another scumbag in the boxing industry. And it's a cold, dark moment in your life when you realize you're in an environment where thousands and thousands and thousands of people want to see you get hurt and lose. Even recently, walking into Wembley Stadium, AJ versus Dubois. I walk in, the cameras are on me, my face goes up on the screen, 80,000 people boo me into that arena. And that is after a career best performance against Liam Smith, where I beat him in a rematch. I say all that to say that on April 26th, I'm probably going to be walking into the same environment. But it's okay, because I'm not going to be alone.